And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Patches Patch Clash number 17, 5.4K edition. I'm, of course, your RvT. Which means I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chats, and, of course, by this insane patch as well. Let's get into it. Oh my god. Let's jump into the game itself, and then we can discuss a little bit as to what the hell we're casting. You're spawning in the bottom right hand corner of At Attorney's Edge. We do have the Ukrainian random player. He is random and he does land as Zerg. The purple Zerg representing Hokage T team. It is HackErIsTop. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Terran player representing the Ladder Legends. It is Ponyo. Let's go. Let us go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's delve into our initial ZVT. And this is a little bit different here. Welcome one and all. Welcome to a Patches Patch Mod tournament. So Patches, he is a map maker, community member of course, and he has made his own balance mod, which has changed almost everything. Like it's too much to catch up with, and it's very overwhelming, very overwhelming. Of course, I'll actually leave a document link in the chat, so you can have a look yourselves at some of the changes, but but there are so many upgrades added, so many units have been changed, so many interactions. I think examples of this is like Warp Gate was heavily changed as well, where if you warp in with a proxy pylon or a proxy across the map, then you warp in without any shields, for example. A bunch of buildings can be salvaged when it comes to the Terran side of things. A bunch of upgrades were added as well to units like Reaper, for example, to units like Cyclone. Like a bunch of different changes have been made. A bunch of upgrades have been added. A bunch of upgrades have been consolidated as well. The Queen can morph into a Swarm Queen. Roaches at Hive Tech, they can turn into one supply. Like that. It's crazy, baby. It's crazy. For now, though, we're opening up with a late hatchery. Late hatchery here. Early pool, early gas. Link speed stays in gas. Looks like a Bane Bust. Looks like HackErIsTop. Yep, there we go. Bane Bust is on the way. HackErIsTop is looking to just end the game early. Oh no, the Reaper! Reaper gets caught out. Ponyo, not like this. Back at home is going double gas. Oh my god, what the hell's going on? Double gas opener. Faster factory in TVZ is insane, by the way. But this does mean that he does have access to an earlier Hellion. So Hellion production has begun, Balin is still on the way, and thanks to the weird build here by Ponyo in a TVZ to open up one base, does mean that Hellion production is going to be available early, and it does mean he does have an answer to the Bane Bust. Oh boy. It comes down to the Hellion volleys, it comes down to the Hellion control. As the Bane Bust is coming. Now, bearing in mind that Ponyo, no SCV Scout. Ooh, no SCV Scout out of Ponyo. So Ponyo, he's playing in the dark. He does not know. He doesn't know how late the hatchery is. He doesn't know how early the gases are, more importantly, and he's not aware of the continued gas income. And that's also due to the lack of SCV Scout, and also due to the lack of Reaper, as Reaper was surrounded. Baneling's going to be waddling in, and we're looking to knock down that depot wall. It's going to be 5 Banelings. The wall is breaking. Oh, let's around it. Lings, they come in. We need to save that Hellion. Save the Hellion. Save the world. Get out of here. The Hellion does pull away. Lings, they do get into the mineral line, and so far the boys are being pulled, and we are defending. Ponyo, he does defend. He does hold. Oh no, the melee. No, he's attacking. Massive connection in the mineral line. Insane connection. The boys, they hug the Bailing, and now they're one shot away from going down. They're one shot away. Lings, they flood in. The workers are falling. Insane damage here. 10 workers going down. And the wall's still open. The wall is still open here. We're going double factory. Double factory. Hellion to Slackwood. If given time, of course, then we will be able to defend. But we still have more Lings flooding across the map. They're flooding as we speak. And we have Banelings on the way. GG. GG gets called, and HackErIsTop takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG well played does take a lead in the series. Again, a crazy initial start to the game, but so much going awry there for Ponyo. Just so unfortunate there was no SCV Scout, and he lost that first Reaper. Losing that first Reaper was huge, as it did mean that he did not know what was coming his way. If he was fully aware of the all-in coming ahead of time, then he can throw down a bunker. He can secure that ramp, secure that wall, and ensure that he actually had a defense moving forward. Likewise, we would not have seen going Hellion into Tech Lab was crazy, by the way. Hellion is a Tech Lab, delaying the second Hellion even further, delaying any kind of defense. It did feel like Ponyo was maybe not respecting the aggression all-in that HackErIsTop is known for, and with that, it did fall apart there. But let's go. Let's go. Let's jump into our next game. Let's jump into game number 2, and we'll see if Ponyo can survive or can actually open up in a bit of a safer manner, if he can scout what's going on, because HackErIsTop is known for cheese. He's known for all-ins. He always, I don't know if you noticed, but he is a random player, but he always does announce his race. He always announces his race. He never lies or anything like that, but expect an all-in. 1 base all-in, 2 base all-in, proxies, cheese. HackErIsTop is hyper aggressive, and scouting is going to be paramount. And here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner does let his opponent know that he has landed on Terran, of course. We have the purple Terran player representing representing Hokago T team. It is HackErIsTop. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Terran player, the green Terran player himself representing Team Ladder Legends. It is Ponyo. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be settling in. Second CC was much too. I mean, a lot of it came down to just lack of confirmation, right? If you recall, the early lings were revealed to the Reaper, which meant early pool timing, but Ponyo just didn't know how like the gas timing, right? He wasn't aware about the gas timing. He didn't know how dedicated it was. So it all just comes down to trying to confirm what exactly HackErIsTop is up to. It's all about scouting. So far, double gas opener once again out of Ponyo into a faster factory. Meanwhile, HackErIsTop is going for a single gas opener himself. Interesting, 2x Reaper here out of HackErIsTop. Did I say 2x Reaper? My apologies, going 3x Reaper. Okay. Oh boy. So we are once again being hyper aggressive in a different form, in a different manner, of course. Now, I do favor Ponyo's position because the earlier second gas. That means that Ponyo is getting a faster factory. And once again, just like last game, he's going for a faster Hellion. So earlier Hellion production and a more defensive setup here, as long as you don't get caught out, and he will be favored against the Mass Reaper of HackErIsTop, assuming that he preserves his Hellions. Now, first things first, of course, is scouting. This is risky. So remember, Ponyo knows that his opponent's Terran, and okay, SCV Scout. Thank God. He does SCV Scout. He doesn't go further in. He doesn't go further in. He sees the racks on the high ground. He sees one gas geyser on the right hand side. He doesn't check to see if extra racks is being taken or if extra gas is being taken as well. So very incomplete information here by Ponyo, and as a result of that, he's rallying across. This is okay. Thank God. I was gonna say if he rallies across, then he's at risk of losing the Reaper, which would be brutal. But again, he still comes back, I would say, too soon. He comes back too early without really confirming what's going on, and he has to be so careful with this first Reaper, and likewise with the first Hellion, not to get surrounded. A lot of this will come down to the reaction time. Comes down to the reaction time of Ponyo getting a CC on location, which again is fine, considering that he doesn't really know what's going on. Hellion's on the way, getting into his reactor, into Reactor Reaper Hellion. And again, I'm going to be concerned if he does decide to move out. Bearing in mind that HackErIsTop does have the Reaper advantage. And Ponyo will shoot first. He will shoot first, gets first volley off, and he'll be able to... Ooh, doesn't quite trade. One Reaper goes down already, a rough start. Now he sees all 3 Reapers, now he knows. He's now aware about the extra Raxes. CC's going to be delayed. And now it's go time. Now it's going to be go time here. I wouldn't be opposed to... at this stage of the game, it might be a little bit too early to pre-pull the boys. He's just rallying out more Reapers and more Hellions. But again, he has to make sure he does not lose this army. No, here makes sense. Oh my god. Does take extra volleys. Yeah, some rough movement there by Ponyo. Rough movement. And again, this early on, individual unit micro is so important. Oh, nice volley. The army does stack. One Reaper goes down. Nice Hellion shots. Nice Hellion volleys. Behind this, we have more Reapers on the way. And I believe this is the new Reaper upgrade. So we spoke earlier, this is a custom mod, a custom balance mod, and I believe there are Reaper upgrades. First Hellion goes down. Oof. The units do stack up for a moment here, but no, both Hellions will fall. And in the end, Ponyo, he's barely holding on. He barely does defend. But behind this, we still have more Reapers on the way. Now, very quickly here, is this the grenade upgrade where it does more damage to buildings? I'll have to double check. Hold on. I'm tabbing out. Hold on. Reaper, new upgrade, enhanced munitions and U238 rounds. Okay. Increased damage to light. I believe this is U238 rounds. If I'm not mistaken. Yep, yeah, there we go. It's right there written on the right. So now he has extra range and extra damage. Oh no! Does have extra range, picks off the Marines. Cyclone does pop out in time, and Cyclone will help defend. Ponyo, he's holding on. He's holding, he's defending. Does chase back. HackErIsTop gets caught out. Ooh, and the Reapers, nice auto turret. We'll be able to focus on one of the Reapers, 2 Reapers even. Cyclone does fall, and what do we have behind this? Do we have any more Cyclones? No. No additional Cyclones in production. Ooh, but the Reapers are thrown away. Ponyo's holding. He's holding on, and more importantly, he maintains control of the low ground. He does have that base advantage, bearing in mind that HackErIsTop has been one base all in this entire time, the natural just now being taken. So Ponyo has the greater economy. And there was potential there for HackErIsTop to snowball out of control, but he failed to preserve the Reapers. Did fail to build them up over time. The lack of additional Cyclone is concerning. He's going for a tank follow-up instead. And until the tank pops, yeah, more Marines are going to be going down. No safety bunker. But the tank has arrived. Reapers are getting to the mineral line. And timing on the tank, he dives! Can he focus on the Marine? Oh my god, not close enough. Yeah, not close enough. Massive tank shots. Ponyo's holding. And we're still making more Reapers, by the way. we're still going mass Reaper back. Yeah. He's not stopping. Dips into the main. Third CC is delayed. Bearing in mind we have a third base finishing up here for HackErIsTop. More CV kills. Okay, 3, 4, 5 SCVs. I should very quickly reiterate as well that with the new upgrade here for the Reaper has extra range and does bonus damage to light units. So it does have more micro potential. Scans, spots the tank. Looking for another way in. Behind this, taking a bit of stim into bio. HackErIsTop is transitioning. Ooh, and due to all the worker damage here, HackErIsTop is actually ahead of the worker count. He's up in workers, he has map control, third base is being now taken. So a stronger economy here for HackErIsTop, which is something that I rarely say. True. Because he's so cheesy, because he's hyper aggressive, we don't often get to see HackErIsTop with a 3-base setup. And thankfully there's a second tank on the high ground. We have our second tank. Third base not being taken. This is a little bit greedy considering that Ponyo does not have map control, so he's going to have to fight for his third. And he's playing into bio and not back. Yeah, the base is denied. I believe... Oh, Jesus. I believe enhanced munitions was not upgraded. Yeah. Just U-23 shells. Dying a little bit. Ponyo does attempt to expand. Back at home, we're still saturating, still building up into our 1-1 upgrade, stim, bio, combat shields, bio tank. Both players working towards the same kind of main army composition. Reapers that make their way into the main. They stay out of range of the tank. That's 2 SCV kills. Ooh, even denying one of the upgrades. That's a kill. Sorry, that's a kill. That's a kill in the racks. They do pull away. Third base now being taken. We'll see if HackErIsTop does rotate over towards that northern third. Back at home, how many Marines do we actually have here? Only 8. So we do see HackErIsTop, he's got half the Marine count. When it comes to tank count, we're even. Ponyo moves out. He gets spotted. Ooh, yeah, spotted by the Reapers. And they will check the expansion. That's 2 fresh mules. Yeah, 2 fresh mules are going to be denied. Ponyo does unload, does catch a tank. Very nice catch. 1 tank goes down, but the Reapers have come back. The Reapers have come back just around. 1 tank did fall, down to 2. But once again, the third base is being denied. And at least the third is going to be saved. At least the SCVs weren't killed. But HackErIsTop is now upper base mining. So he still has a greater economy. Ponyo rotating back around. HackErIsTop does move in. Yeah, it does commit. Tanks do siege. Massive tank shots. Oh my god. Yeah, tank blows in the army. The opposing tanks are too far back. Yeah, they're not a factor here. That's a lot of auto turrets. Oh my god. That's a lot of turrets. And the blast is they're still going to be cleaned up. Still going to be cleaned up, still going to be denied. Tank volley is going up. Ooh, stimming into tank range. Yeah, bold move here. He will lose the tank. Oh, I'll pick up. Nice save. Still lose both. Yeah, both tanks, they still go down, and with that HackErIsTop, he's done it. He breaks on through. There's, what, 3 Marines left? Once again, Ponyo just cannot mine, cannot expand. Is contained. He's contained back. Does get on top of the tank at least. But the tank survives. GG gets called, and HackErIsTop will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played, congratulations. HackErIsTop does claim the series. I can also step on you. He was able to at least hold his own somewhat here in game number 2, survive the early game and build up in towards the mid game. Unfortunately, was not quite able to claim the third, to claim and maintain the third base economy. He was just contained. He was just lacking map control, of course. Was able to build up his tank count and build up his bio army. That is true, but he couldn't quite expand, couldn't quite build up into a proper 3-base saturation. Was caught out instead. GG. GG, well played. Very chaotic early game, but again, shout out to Ponyo for surviving said early game regardless, and to be able to build up into somewhat of a back and forth, more so than game 1, of course. GG. GG, well played. Cool. And with that, HackErIsTop, he's waiting for the winner of Greenert and Tonsi. And we are going to be waiting for that series to wrap up. So good. But I believe they are mid-series, and we can take this moment here to have a look at the bracket itself. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. What we do have quite a lot to get into, and once again, this is a unique tournament. This is a 5.4k MR event, which means that players that are above that cannot compete, and players that are above that, I believe, are allowed to off-race. So that is why you do see, for example, Deathmars. Deathmars, he's in the, let's zoom in a little bit here. But Deathmars here at the top of the bracket, as you can see here, he is playing as Zerg, not his main race as Protoss, so there is some off-racing going on. Sometimes you see like Mixu or Fiant or some of these other players also off-racing. So Deathmars will be off-racing here. We have Hushang, we have Ryojin, Papi from Bolivia. We have Zardians as well. I would imagine Zardian would off-race. I think Zardian's main race has to be more than 5.4k, right? As Terran, I would imagine. We have Greenert, J Money, Perceive, not to be confused with Percival, bear that in mind. Perceive is a different Korean player, or different player entirely. Greenert, Tonsi, and HackErIsTop. Also bearing in mind this is double elimination, so there's a lot of games to be played, a lot of matches go on. The lower bracket is going to be best of ones for the most part until the lower bracket finals, which is a best of 3. Bear that in mind when it comes to the format. So if you're a fan of Ponyo, do not fret, do not worry, because Ponyo will still be able to compete in the lower bracket. Here's a chance to recover.